Hey everyone, it's Rob from SonyRumors.net, and with the summer season approaching, one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about today was cameras. Now, specifically MP4 cameras is what I had in mind for our video today, and I know with summer lots of you guys are going to be going to events potentially like E3, Comic-Con, hanging out at the beach, or just going to different parties and wanting to capture them. And so today's video is going to address two different MP4 cameras that Sony offers, and keeping affordability in mind. There is lots of different options out there, but sometimes it's nice to just have a dedicated camera. And today we're going to be sticking under a $250 budget. Now, Sony last year introduced the Sony Bloggie Touch, which you guys can see our previous coverage right over here. And at this year's CES, they introduced the Sony Bloggie Live, where again we gave you guys a short little video of it during CES, where again you guys can check out by just clicking on the video right on top here. Now, the Bloggie Touch was at that point designed to take on the Flip UltraHD, and we did quite a bit of extensive coverage on that one for you guys to give you guys the best comparison between those two cameras. But this video is going to be the Sony Bloggie Touch, which right now you guys can buy for $199, or the Sony Bloggie Live, which right now you can actually buy on sale from Sony for $220, down from $250. What? And I do believe that is the actual new normal price. So, within that $20 difference, is it worth saving it, or is it worth going up to the Bloggie Live? And that's what our video is going to show you guys here. So the first thing is, let's get all the specs out of the way and compare the two on just a simple spec sheet. Now, as you guys can tell from just looking at the spec sheets, both the cameras really come considerably close to one another, with every single thing so far matching between the Bloggie Touch right over here and the newer generation Bloggie Live over here. Again, they both offer the same 1080p video at 30 frames per second, or you guys can drop down to 720p for up to 60 frames per second. And they both have the same 12.8 megapixel camera inside of them. So, having said that, the one thing that does make the Bloggie Live different is the reason it's called the Bloggie Live. It does come with a new set of software and built-in Wi-Fi inside of it. And one of the cool things that you guys can do with Wi-Fi is that you guys can directly stream video from your Bloggie Live. So wherever you are and you have Wi-Fi, you can actually turn on your Bloggie, log into your Wi-Fi account. You guys get a free account with that, and now you guys can stream away and later on embed those videos. So that is one thing that the Bloggie Live does offer over the Touch. And then with that, both cameras are going to be touchscreen for you guys, so you guys can fully utilize again the touchscreen. But again, one of the things that makes the Bloggie Live nicer with the newer software is a lot of times, for example, if you do need to connect to a Wi-Fi network, you can turn the Bloggie Live sideways and actually use the keyboard on it as you would, on an Android 4 or on an iPhone or something like that. So again, the newer software is definitely a plus. So with that said, let's compare the two video footages side by side, seeing how the specs are exactly the same, and see which one comes out on top. Now, as you guys can tell, despite the two sharing similar megapixel count, sharing the same 1080p video and image sensor, that the Bloggie Live does do a much better job at recording the footage. And although it might be tempting to say, you know, the Touch has a brighter picture, it's actually not nearly as accurate, and it is a little more washed out. Again, last year we wouldn't have pointed this out compared to the Flip cameras out there, but seeing how a year has elapsed, the Live does do a much better job when it comes to the video footage for you guys. Sharper colors, and it's consistently in focus for you guys. Now let's take again a look at the same megapixel count, which comes on both cameras, 12.8, and let's see which one gives you a better picture out of it. Now, while some might question the practicality of having a dedicated camera like the Bloggie Live versus how everyone else walks around with an iPhone or some kind of Android smartphone like the Xperia S, I still think there's definitely a room for them, and if anything, that room is for the fact that I don't always feel comfortable using my phone everywhere, especially if someone knocks it out of my hand. Now, one of the nice things about all these cameras is that they come with a strap, and they're much more versatile for you being able to shoot without really worrying about destroying your phone. So then it's nice to just have one of these guys around where you can take it out in almost any scenario, record away with it, and you know that it's always going to be in your pocket without having to worry about, you know, is it your phone getting knocked out of your hand. From there on too, it's much easier to then mount one of these guys on a tripod, since they all have a dedicated slot for a tripod. So again, when you are doing shooting lots and lots of videos, it's nice that you're not draining your phone's battery, but that you just have a dedicated camera right there. As always, you guys, thanks for watching our video. Please make sure to subscribe to the rest of our YouTube channel so you guys can get the latest updates from us. And remember that you guys can always find us on Facebook and Twitter at /Sony Rumors. So until next time, have a good one. Versus everyone having some kind of smartphone in their pocket like the iPhone that can now do up to 1080p